According to Mulago National Referral Hospital, 75% of the oral cancer patients it has treated had a history of tobacco use. The Center for Tobacco Control Africa says 13,500 Ugandans die every year due to tobacco use. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, government, on top of scrapping off tobacco from its priority list of cash crops, it does not use any taxpayers' money to fund extension workers to advise on tobacco growing. But rather through nuts and Operation Wealth Creation, other crops are promoted in line with the prosperity for all and improving household income. In Uganda districts of Kanungu, Hoima and some parts of West Nile, they are known for having the highest number of farmers growing tobacco. However, tobacco is a killer plant and the greatest single current public health threat, and tobacco use is the leading cause of premature death worldwide. One aspect of tobacco control is convincing farmers to stop tobacco production. Its death toll affects not only human life, animal life or plant. It's known in it contains fail the world realizing all the sustainable development goals. During a cross-sectional interview with tobacco farmers in Kanungu district who changed other better alternative crops from tobacco that they said is a low-income crop, and tobacco companies use the crop to enslave and exploit farmers.
Batugambira ngo batugurira batayitugurire baturaganisa kutugurira nk'enkumi 3 kuza kurira ngo ni 12 ngo ni Rwenda ngo ina tucirebeka etabe twatwine yone hwera muri Rwenda ngo nutabona imeseti
kampuni ya beti abakozi bayo bakeze bakurwa kwibitwa abahinji batukura boro kwaburamo amagoba zete zaburamo etabe twagireka.
Farmers who used to grow tobacco, especially in Chihihi sub-county in Kanungu district, revealed that they did not benefit from tobacco growing, and it's for that reason that they had to switch to other crops, wealth-assured crops like coffee, rice and maize.
Nyowe hati obwiro obundo muhinzi w'omwani konka enyuma ho kabando muhinzi w'etabi konke kinarebire omutabi kikatuma cyane nateka nk'ukantuse mpingo gundi musiri ngeragera nise ndebe okuza kuteka kuhinga ogundi musiri kwera ngeragira nise kaba nareba mu ryetabi bitarugamo
karuga mu byo kuhinga etabi naza kuhinga ebicu konka tezindi abone zona nezanjye
umwana guratambaje kubanga umwana umwaka no gwa kabiri ndashoroma kundiye kubarasinga nashanga ndifuna miliyoni zanjina nayo mbeka akajo.
Tobacco farmers who shifted to other crops advised their colleagues still strapped in growing tobacco to see the light and change for better living and health crops.
Abachainge tabe omuntu tokamu aburataka bwene kizibu aho kwa nagamaye bagumirize mu bajagihinga konke kabera henda munonge cyo kindebiremo nye kampenda munonga konke tabe kabe inesente naguja ba contact farmer nibo bashishiro bwire bwone
Yonka jezo bamwe banyani banje babe basigeremo nabagamba nti amaguba mutabitigalimo kureke kikuru no kuyamengwara ko kubanga nankanaje mu igwaro nagwere ba doctor bambale shonga chatuma nagwara konkaso bamwe nabo bajirugireho.
However, there are some farmers who still believe that tobacco growing is the only way of earning a living.
Bakajanga tabi nguhina abarwiri kuko kubargihireho abantu bacena abatine mpanga zo kugera myani abwo mushana kuba abo abine takaribi bashigero mwani go ngababande abine takaribo nire hati nubabwiga banyesa bahati yosho sabana bakumbuka amajwe bonire
kurugenyuma nkanjye umuhinzi wa bieti kandi bieti turagihingira na yera tushashura kurungi konka kuyahereze ibyobwe bwire hayije ikindi kibena cya continento kucyayijire abahinzi bamwe bibagetabe mu bieti bagita mu continento mwene bibena tijyagira kwishirizana hate ibyo bibena byagenda
nje wa boda branka ine pice yanje kwako baze kujiyaho byanshara anati hati ndateka mwagaruza nkejo tabi abantu binje bashobora babe n'abagiga.
To increase the willingness of farmers to stop growing tobacco, there is a need to increase the knowledge of farmers regarding the harmful effects of tobacco and to promote alternative crops that are more profitable than tobacco.
Eki batugambiragaho batujyaga nko mukazi yaba yinenda ataza mwene nko mu kibanda kuhanika ninga mu kujiguredinga kugira ngo kika kimutere kingi konka mu ntabire tibagiraga ngo hine shonge makwe ahibage cyari mbisi mwene ngo kika kibine cyome.
The people still think that tobacco is the only way to go. You first of all have to appreciate them. Their soils have been depleted so badly that they need to be sustained by being drugged with fertilizers. So because they get fertilizers at this very high cost from the industry, they still think this is the only way to go. The liberation of the mind. And that's what we need to keep up. To keep helping the farmers with figures, with facts, to see that growing tobacco is actually the much more expensive and much more unhealthy choice.
Furthermore, research is needed on the cost and benefits of tobacco compared with alternative crops.
We need to make sure research is intensified in these areas such that we look at crops that can generate sustainable income to farmers. I think coffee can do well given the opportunity now that we have. We are going to get a mega irrigation scheme.
Tobacco industries influence farmers through giving them incentives to keep on the market, like giving them loans, money to construct grass-thatched houses, to dry tobacco leaves, among others.
Hati barija batwete twekunganye batubuze murinda kwinga tabi bamara kutweta twabajya ngo yego hati batugambire bakije batugambira murasa kutera amabede hati mwero kumutera amabede rero turabaha ibyo kozesa amabede batubyo kozesa amabede konkana kaseta kukolesa amabede bakatushashura.
Henry Mohozi, resident in Chihihi, an oldest tobacco farmer in the area, reveals that another tobacco company has brought new type of tobacco leaf to grow, which is still in pilot study.
Hati nabo bari gukora turayo kugira ngo barebe bako baletire ndisho mbibo nsya bako ngo zimwe mbibo zakare mu katari kensi yona zikagiramo okuta akatari kubakaci konka baletire ndisho nkora nsya mbibo nsya yituhingire rero ngo nayo bageze barebe yaberera konka kutwagihingire twashangirira.
James Kaberuka, Member of Parliament, Chinkinzi West, says the tobacco enslaves farmers because tobacco industries engage farmers from the growing to the time of selling.
When you calculate implicit costs, you find that the costs in inputs are far much more than the output. So that one, I wouldn't encourage a farmer from my constituency from in growing tobacco, which enslaves this farmer and actually causes domestic violence.
However, there is a need to demonstrate to farmers that other crops may be more profitable than tobacco.
The prices are higher and they deduct from what you're supposed to be paid when you supply them the crop. Remember, the challenge with tobacco is that you only have to supply to the tobacco company because you can't take tobacco anywhere else. You can't even sell like cassava or bananas that if I have no market now, I can eat them and they nourish me. So you can't even use tobacco for anything except if you're going to use it to chew it, to smoke it, and then it leads you to further problems anyway.
Milton Nankunda, Chairman Chihihi Sub-County, says that people growing other crops are getting more money than tobacco farmers, hence advising tobacco farmers to quit tobacco.
If you have visited some farmers, those who are growing rice,
Advise tobacco farmers to switch to alternative crops.